What is happening, guys? So in this video we're going to be talking about the Xtool F1 laser. Let's dive into it. So essentially that was pretty much the laser. What is mostly what it does is it just laser engraves aluminum business cards that are anodized for me. I ship a aluminum card that looks essentially like that with every order. And so I like to just do a bunch of them at one time. And one thing I really like about this is you can go to the computer, you can set it up, whatever file you're gonna do, and then you can just run it over and over and over and over and over again. Now, thank God for my wife, because I'm not the type of person to read manuals. Sometimes I do, but most of the stuff like lasers I'm new to, and I should have known better. I should have probably actually looked at the manual and like paid attention. But instead, like, I would go over to my computer, hit process, and then I'd come over and I'd tap the button and it would get beep, and I'd go over to my computer and hit reprocess and then press it. And my wife was helping me one day, and she's like over here and she's like reading this sticker, and she's like, "Hey, did you know that you could just double press this button right here and it would just rerun the job that it previously ran? And like, you can even turn it off and turn it back on and then rerun it." And I'm like, "No, I didn't know that." I was like, wow. She's like, so thank God for women. And thank God for my wife. But so essentially, I bought this laser to do spindle kits, but I don't sell a ton of spindle kits for CNC machines. I sell a few maybe like once every 2 months. I don't know. I sell them here and there. I don't sell a ton of them, but I have been using this laser a ton for our business cards. And so Solofita Designs on the front, and on the back I have our Instagram link, our YouTube link, our Facebook link, and then our website link, and then it says thank you for the support. And I honest to God do, like, everybody who buys my dust boot or a spindle kit for me, I really thank you guys. Can't thank you guys enough from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it, and you guys are absolutely awesome. But yeah, so that's I end up buying this card stock and bulk, and then I just run, I 3D printed a jig that the center pops out of, and there's an aluminum center that's somewhere in a box, and then I just 3D printed this jig that drops into place of that, and then I can just throw that in there, pull it out, throw another one in, and just stack them all up, and then go to the computer, change the file to the backside or whatever, and then run all the back sides. And it works out really, really well. Excuse me. But I'm really impressed with this laser. I know nothing about lasers, so I'll just be upfront and honest. But the laser with the shroud, when you close it, the little fan inside of there, I mean, this little tiny baby fan, works extremely well for actually extracting the smoke. I have right now a 12-foot, 2.5-inch flex hose hooked to it, and I have a port hooked up to my window that takes it outside. And no fans in line, just a fan that's on the actual machine. And I have roughly, probably about like 8 inches from the window is some taller grass, and the grass will actually move when the fan is running. So it's actually pumping through the 12-foot of hose straight out the window, and actually enough to actually move the grass, which is kind of shocking for just how small it is. And I'm really impressed with it. Behind the actual laser, I have an NU wave air filtration system, and it has a sensor in it, and when it actually senses bad air quality, it kicks the fans to max. And when this shroud is closed, this thing doesn't sense really any bad air. When it's open, that thing's running at full speed. So it does a really, really good job on extracting all the smoke and smell out the window. So I'm impressed by that. So one of the reasons, the main reason why I bought this thing though, was to do stainless steel with the IR laser, and I wanted to engrave my logo on the spindles. And it's actually a really deep engrave. It just takes a long time. It takes roughly around 40 to 35 minutes to do this logo on the rotary. This is a pretty heavy spindle. I'm gonna have to guess it probably weighs like 12 pounds, maybe 10. I don't know off the top of my head, but you can take like polishing compound, and you can't just polish that off. You'd actually have to sand it off because it's a nice deep engrave. So I actually use this rotary. It's got these two rollers right here, and it does a really, really good job. It does come with a jaw system that I've never used. I just use this. And this actually came in really handy over Christmas because I did some tumblers for family members over Christmas, and that's what I gave as gifts and stuff. So this rotary came in clutch. One thing that I did purchase was this bed. And my idea behind the bed was I'll build a card jig, and I'll stick it on here, and I'll do 6 cards at a time. I'd start the job, and I'd be able to do more stuff around the shop because this thing, you know, when it's doing cards, the backside with all my logos and the QR codes and all that stuff, it takes roughly like 2.5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, something like that. And then when I do the front side, it literally takes probably like a minute to maybe like a minute to 40 seconds. I'm not really sure off the top of my head, but it's roughly around there. And that's, you know, you're swapping cards in and out really fast with one jig when you're trying to do other stuff. So I figured, you know what, I'll do a jig holder where I can hold like 6 cards, and I'll put it on this thing. I'll buy this bed so I can move it back and forth so I can do all the cards and all that stuff, and it'll be really nice. The bed limits the actual lasering speed to like 160, I believe. And at that point, it's not worth it. By the time it made it to the 3rd card on the front logo, it took roughly 11 minutes, and I'm just like, no. And I stopped the operation, and I was like, this is way too time consuming. This is not worth it. It's just way better to have a jig in the center there where I can run my card at 1,000 millimeters a second, and this just isn't gonna work. And I don't really plan on cutting wood stock on here. Something that I found out that diode laser does is it almost cuts everything at an angle. If I want to make a cleat, I'll take it to my table saw. So I probably won't really be cutting anything on here. The one thing I can see this coming in handy for is maybe like if I had a piece of wood and I want to engrave something on it, and I wanted to do like, you know, a big piece, I could probably do that. But with how fast this thing can actually engrave at, I'd probably just throw it on the CNC machine and chuck a V-bit into it, because it's just not fast enough, in my opinion. I mean, my 3D printers are way faster. So just yeah, I don't really recommend buying this bed. But other than that, if you're buying the Xtool for using it to stick onto something and engrave, because the bottom does come out, which is really nice. So you can literally stick it on toolboxes, you can stick it on whatever you want, and then you can laser engrave it, which is awesome. If that's why you're buying this, or you're buying it to do something that's small, that's going to be in the center, you can actually like engrave stuff really, really fast, and it does a really good job. It does engrave HDPE, ABS, and those things like that, and it does a pretty good job on that as well. One thing I was really impressed with was the detail that it does for photos. This is when I was actually skinny. But that's a photo that it does. It looks like it's black and white. And it's funny because my camera is actually registering the faces that it's that clear and detailed. And then you can see on the back side I did some more tests, and it just came out really, really good. If you're a woodworker or you're into this type of something, I can really see that you incorporate something like that into one of your pieces, and it would be really awesome. I'm really shocked just how detailed that it does these black aluminum cards. It's like a black and white photo. It's crazy. So you know when you buy a tool and you're just like, wow, I kind of regret this purchase. Why did I spend X amount of money on this tool that is You ever had that feeling? I have. I don't have that with this tool. Now there are other like actual lasers out there that are actual fiber lasers, and hopefully someday I'll actually get a fiber laser. As of right now though, I'm really happy with this, and I don't regret buying this laser. It's come in really handy, and it has saved us a ton of money on cards. Now, we didn't do the aluminum cards, but we used to buy regular cards from a printing place, and it cost us quite a bit of money. And you can buy like 200 cards for like $10 on Amazon or something like that. And so we just buy these cards and print them. Or not print them, but laser them. Yeah, laser them. That's what it is. And then not to mention, you could do other stuff on this. Like if you're into guns like I am, you could laser engrave your guns or a knife or something like that. And it's really simple, and it does a really good job on those smaller items. And it moves really quickly. So once you get it dialed in, you can figure out what speeds you can do it at, and you can engrave stuff really quick. Because the bottom does come out, one thing that is really nice, you're able to actually stick it on items. And I had some enclosure boxes and stuff that I wanted to engrave my logo on, and plus put different port names and stuff like that for different items that you would plug into the control box, and you were able just to stick it on there and then laser engrave it. And it was really cool. It just laser engraved it because it was metal. So I know it's an IR laser, so it's like some type of not a true fiber laser or something, or a really low powered fiber laser. I'm not really sure. I don't really know much about lasers, but it has done everything that I've asked it to do, just probably slower than most. Like I said, it does a really nice deep engrave on stainless steel. It just takes a long time, but it comes out really nice, and I'm not like moving a ton of spindle kits, so I really only need to do like maybe one every 2 months or something like that if I get lucky and so on. So for what I need it for, it does a great job. But it's kind of cool because it opens up the possibility of me doing tumblers and other things like that, which have been really fun to do because I've never done those before. And yeah, I do recommend getting actual laser glasses though. Get one for the diode laser and get one for fiber lasers. But yeah, if I had to recommend this laser, I would totally recommend it. I do not recommend getting the bed though. I don't think the movable bed for the extra cutting space is worth it at all. It is way too slow in my opinion, and that's a purchase I actually regret. The rotary, totally get the rotary. I think the rotary is awesome, and it is totally worth it. The thing I wanted to do was I wanted to do some like cup holders. So these slate coasters you can buy fairly cheap, and it does a really good job on the slate coasters. Now I've seen other people where they do like multiple colors and stuff from the diode lasers. I haven't got there yet, haven't even tried that yet, but I guess you can actually like change the color of the slate by how much power you use and stuff like that. I need to run some tests, but I did this really quick and it didn't take long at all. So it's actually really quick and it does a nice job. So in all, I'm really happy with my purchase of this Xtool F1. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. And if you guys want to see more laser videos, or me maybe actually lasering a bunch of stuff, let me know in the comments down below, and I can actually do that. I want to maybe get more into lasers. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. God bless you all, and please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell. And definitely like this video if you enjoyed this video and you actually made it this far. It will really help the algorithm thing on YouTube or whatever. And I'm really trying to grow this YouTube channel this year, and I'm really going to be bringing a lot of content. I plan on doing some videos on the Onefinity. I plan on bringing a Onefinity Elite review video, which if you already know my opinion, you probably do. The Elite is, in my opinion, one of the best CNC machines that you can buy for a hobbyist. And yeah, I plan on doing a lot of videos when it comes to CNC machines and like 3D printing and stuff like that. I usually know a fair amount. And so if you guys have any questions about anything, leave them down below in the comments, or just get a hold of me and I'll do my best to answer any questions you have. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.